This program is proudly brought to you by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchen and COCADOS Healthy Cuisine.
In a world where gender equality still seems to be a work in progress, get ready for a conversation that's going to warm your heart, spark your mind, and fuel your passion for raising the next generation of empowered women. Let's talk about raising the girl child. My name is Ifwa. I'm your host for today, and this is the Two Words Moms Show, your favorite parenting show. Now, this show is sponsored by the number one healthy cuisine in Takrady, COCADOS. COCADOS has salads, detox packages, smoothies, Greek yogurt, parfait, granola, wraps, sandwiches, juices, and the famous bougie Burkina, aka Brooks. You can contact COCADOS on 0541 02 2896. We are also sponsored by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchenware. They have microwaves, kitchen stands, non-stick saucepans, rice cookers, chafing dishes, lunch bowls, water bottles, etc. They also have kids' dresses, corporate dresses, casual dresses, outing dresses, and church dresses. They've got men's shirts, khakis, jeans, trousers, shorts, etc. They do nationwide delivery. Call or WhatsApp them on 0208 759 436. Let's go for a quick commercial break and we'll be back with our guest.
This program is proudly brought to you by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchen and COCADOS Healthy Cuisine.
Welcome back from the break. Now, as promised, we are going to talk about raising the girl child, and I have the perfect person that you need for this conversation in the person of Mrs. Amanda Nketsiah. Now, Mrs. Nketsiah is the CEO of COCADOS. She's also the MD, right, of COCADOS. She is a wife and a mom of 3 amazing girls. She's called the Queen of Jesus. Welcome to the Two Words Moms Show.
Thank you, Ifwa. I'm honored.
I am
to be
honored.
here.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Before we even delve into like the all serious stuff, you started COCADOS. Just tell me something small about COCADOS.
So, COCADOS was birthed out of, well, I did food and nutrition. I did nutrition in school.
Okay.
And so, coming out of school, my grandpa was like my really good buddy. And there are times when I go to school, I come back and he's like, he missed me, things I used to do for him at home. Nobody was there to do it for him. So, he passed away, and it was due to cancer, the prostate cancer thing. And I was like, what could I have, done differently based on my education, all of that. So one day, well, fast forward, I got married. I was home for a while, pregnant with my firstborn, my first girl. And surfing the internet, I saw somebody selling just fruits and vegetables. So salads, juices, anything to do with fruits and vegetables. So I got my inspiration from there. And I've been thinking of what to do with my education. So there's this funny story. I was home for a while, and I met one of my lecturers at the market, and she was like, Amanda, how are you? What are you doing with your skills? And I'm not.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm at home, and then she's like, "You're at home doing what? What are you doing with your skills? You should do something." So
Okay.
I mean, putting all these things together, I felt inspired. I'm like, this is different. Nobody's doing any of these things,
Yeah.
and fruits and vegetables is always like the go-to in any ailment.
Yeah.
They tell you to increase your fiber intake. It's basically what flushes out toxins and all the bad stuff we take in. Yeah. So that was how
Oh.
COCADOS was
So you're
birthed.
actually a nutritionist.
Yes, I am a nutritionist.
Then you're the best person to even do this.
Exactly.
Thank you once
So
again.
every recipe is backed by
Research,
expertise,
yeah, and
research,
expertise.
yes, and then the required proportions to come up with a recipe.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you once again for
Thank
gracing
you.
our studios. Before we go into deep conversations, you have 3 girls.
Yeah.
Tell me, when your first baby girl came, how was the feeling?
I cried.
Tears of joy or tears of sadness?
Tears of awesomeness. I was in awe of, what God had done. I didn't believe I was a mom. And I was just, thankful with a heart of gratitude, actually. That was where the tears was coming from. And I mean, I was happy to have a girl because I just couldn't imagine, the usual thing, dolling your baby girl up, being the mini me kind of thing. So I was actually very happy.
You're happy.
And I've always loved kids, actually. So it was nothing extremely new to me, except for, the various stages, meeting up your milestones, the technical part of parenting, which you don't see outside when you're carrying people's kids or you're playing people's kids. Yeah, so that was how the experience went for me.
Okay. That was the first baby.
My first baby, yes.
Then the second one came, another girl. Then the third one came and it was a girl.
Yeah.
How was it? Did you know ahead of time it was going to be a girl?
So after having the first two, in fact, when I had my first girl, I said I didn't want to have another girl because I didn't have time to, take care of her hair, do her hair for her myself. Because growing up, I used to braid my cousin's hair for them. My school didn't have to keep hair, so we all had our short hairs. But my cousin was at international school, and so I'd braid her hair for her when we were little. And it was just like naturally gifted. I didn't have to train for it or anything. It was natural. So, I mean, I was happy to, nurture my little girl, give her styles here and there, Charlie. But so I had two. I'm like, I'll still keep up. After the third girl, I'm like, I can't keep this up.
No, but I mean,
can't keep this
the
up.
awesomeness that you felt when the first girl came out, was it the same feeling for the third?
So I think I was still in the moment. Reason being that my second girl, I took seed with her when she was my first girl was 9 months old.
That was close.
So they are literally 18 months apart, and I call them twins.
Okay.
I call them Irish twins because people always ask them at the market whenever we go, "Are you twins? Are you twins?" Like, no, you're Irish twins because we're like being 18 months apart. Yes. So I was still in that moment, the whole motherhood, hormones, vibe, fresh mommy thing. So that I didn't really have to transition from, taking a break from new mom to being a new mom again. It was just, it just flowed through. So the emotions were just like steady and, I was also equally happy to have another girl. Then the third baby came actually. So when the third baby came, I didn't want to check the sex. I didn't want to check the sex because I was just hoping I would have a boy. The usual African family thing. Given that my husband is the only boy in the family, I'd always want to, give him a brother. Generally want to balance the equation because my grandma had 2 boys, 2 girls. My mom had 2 boys, 2 girls. So I was like, Jali, it's a generational thing. Yeah. It will flow through.
It won't skip you.
But we couldn't balance the equation. And I still hopeful I'll go for another boy. But at this point, I am really grateful. I'm content with them as they are. Interestingly, God will always find a way to, put a boy somewhere. So when there's all one gender, there's always one that would be
who looks like a tomboy.
Yes. Or would have the, the attitude or behavior of the opposite sex. So same
Yeah.
with boys. You'd always have a guy who is caring, who would, serve you like how a girl have the instincts of a girl.
Yeah.
Same way. I have one of them who has instincts of a guy. She's like very brave,
Whoa.
courageous.
Whoa.
Things you'd expect a guy to do. Like she's always jumping around. But she's still very compassionate, like a lady that she is. So
I mean, since we are still on this topic of single girls, I have 3 boys myself.
right.
And I know how society can be. There was a point where somebody clearly told me that if I didn't have a girl, my husband will now go and impregnate somebody outside my marriage
Imagine that.
to get a girl. And the pressure was not coming from us as a married couple.
No.
It's always from outside. Did you ever feel that? Did
Till
somebody...
date.
Till date.
Till date.
Tell me about
Oh,
it.
Sisia there, she's all grown up. Aka boy, no. I hear it all the time. Aka boy, no. He's left with a boy. You have to give us a boy. And I mean, obviously, it's from the onlookers.
Yeah.
We may call them well wishes, but this is not like a doing of
Sometimes
yours.
they go to the extreme.
Yes.
Because it's not their business in the first place, and it's not their money they are going to use to raise the child for you.
And I'm happy I've come to this point of contentment because I actually contemplating on, trying another one. And I ask myself, if I go and try and it's another girl, do I keep going and going and going? But then again, there are times when some kids are a gift from God. Every child is a gift from God. Yeah. But there's always that particular one that God would always surprise you with, where you say, I didn't expect this child to come, but this child came. So if that opportunity comes, I mean, who am I to, say?
I don't want the opportunity to come.
You never know. If it probably has already come with these ones we have already. Yes. But if the opportunity comes and God says, there's just one more, I'm happy to mother that child, boy or girl.
Boy or girl, right? Boy or girl.
Yes.
For me, I think I am done. And like you were saying, I also seem to have one who, I mean, before the show, I was telling you about my son who literally serves me breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
A boy. So probably God has blessed me,
exactly.
with that uncle. Now, I want to ask you, you don't have boys yet, but do you think that raising the girl child is totally, like, completely different from raising boys? You may have seen other people raising their boys.
I don't think there should be any difference, in the sense that once in the future you become parents, you are the mother, you are the father, in the absence of either of them. So you happen to be, you are married alright, but your husband is somewhere else. You have to father them. You don't wait till when daddy comes, you discipline you. No. So you need to have the instincts of a father. You need to have the instincts of a mother. When mommy is not around, daddy has to serve the kids. So you need to imbibe all these values, these trainings in them as they grow, whilst they are younger. And interestingly, the signs show up at every stage. So once a while, you're in the kitchen, your child comes. So you see the interest in wanting to be in the kitchen. It's 2 ways. It's either the child is interested in just being with mommy, or the child actually wants to help mommy. So if it's just being with mommy, they'll come with their tablets or whatever it is, and they get busy with mommy in the kitchen or wherever mommy is. But if the interest is to do with food, to do with cleaning, mommy, can I help you? Mommy, can I do this? So once you see all these signs, you need to start incorporating, being intentional about having them partake in that activity. So recently, it had been on my mind to get the kids a shoe rack. Because their shoes are like all over the place. Initially, I couldn't spot where I would position the shoe rack. So I just, let it go by. Then I realized that my youngest daughter would come and she would clear off all my shoes on one row and arrange her shoes there. So every day when she comes back, she puts one there. The next day she comes, she puts another one there. And gradually the whole row was full with her shoes. So that was like a sign to get them the shoe rack. And I eventually did. And now, like, everything is organized. Funny enough, that was what was making their room look messy. Because they come, they fling their shoes somewhere. Or the shoes are nicely arranged under the bed. Before you realize somebody has kicked it somewhere, So that's, once you identify the sign, you take on it and harness it and, do your part intentionally.
Yeah. So there are three.
Yes, 3 girls.
And what you just said about one now wanting to arrange her
Mhm.
shoes on your shoe rack, she may be very opinionated.
She actually is.
How do you handle conflict? Girls, we can be dramatic. How are you handling conflicts? I mean, among them,
Yeah.
sibling rivalry.
So, going back to when I was a little girl, I have one sister. I used to fight. No, she used to always pick a fight with me. Which was
Not
always
her,
the
because she's
case.
not here.
Yeah. The little ones would always pick a fight with the older ones.
Okay.
And so there was one time I had it. And I'm like, I won't let you bully your way through because you're the younger one. So she scratched me because she always had longer nails. And I bit her. I bit her really hard.
Oh, on her hand?
I can't even remember where, but I think it was on her hand, yes. So from that experience, coming back to how my girls behave, squabbling over things, it would usually stem from, I want your thing. Or you have this, I don't have that. So right from day one, I started getting them. If I buy one thing, I buy for everybody.
Okay.
So if I'm not getting all three, I don't buy.
What?
Or I buy one, I keep the rest away till I have all three and I give it out.
What?
At a point, I realized that you can't always have it like that. Because then you won't be content. One, you'd always want what somebody has. So I had to pull the brakes on that and now start instilling values of you can't fight your sister over what she has. Because if your friend has something, you won't have the same thing your friend has. You go to school, you won't have the same thing. So we started speaking to them. We started, we'll mitigate. What's going on? Tell me your side.
The law courts, they bring their case to court.
Yes. So I'll ask you, if it was you, how would you feel? And then you express your feeling. So you tell me, do you think what you did was right? Yes or no? And then they themselves will make up.
Wow.
And there are times when I will give it to you because whether you are right or wrong, you just have to. I feel they should know.
They should reason.
They should reason. But then they don't know it all. So then it's our place to guide and nurture them. And so I would, told lines of some of the cartoons they watch. Did you see how Sophia did this with her brother? Did you see the consequences? They recently watched one Sophia episode where Amber was supposed to be the lead.
Amber.
And James wanted to be the king because because he knew that he was the king.
Yeah.
So he was next, and he's the only boy, exactly. So but then eventually things went messed up and all of that. So they picked the cue from that. And this vacation has been very interesting that the two older ones, one time Daddy said he overheard them. They were in the bathroom and they were talking. They were like, we shouldn't fight anymore. We shouldn't fight anymore. So when I offend you, I'll tell you. When you offend me, you should also tell me. And then we just talk about it. And the next moment we play together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I didn't even know that had happened. So Daddy was reiterating, and I'm like, wow. Funny enough, that whole day they didn't fight. So it was at the end of the day they had that conversation, and I'm like, is this the Holy Spirit or whatever it says?
They enjoyed the peace.
They enjoyed the peace. They had a good time not fighting, and then they probably had realized that they didn't fight the whole day. I also noticed this. I had told them at the end of the day for them to also have that conversation. I was like really proud that these seeds of unism, these seeds of not bickering, not squabbling. The series, some of the cartoons they watch actually teaches them to, because I think between Bluey as well,
Bluey is perfect
they
for
teach
that.
them not to squabble, or they squabble, they play up, come back together again. And so, in our own way, we talk to them. We try to make them understand the source of the fights. We try to get them to understand the consequence or the implications of that scenario. So if you put yourself in that person's shoes, and then
You
figure
wouldn't
out
treat them the
exactly.
same way.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. When you were speaking, you mentioned that when the fights come up and you're sitting down with them, you now talk about, some values.
Yeah.
Girls, what are some of the values you are intentionally instilling in them
Yeah.
to become proper women?
So, just this vacation actually, I think is a gift to us. This whole long vac. I was worried about how we are going to manage them this vacation, but things have rolled out beautifully. We would occasionally, have chit chats here and there, but now we are being extra intentional. We have family meetings where we pick a topic for the week, and then we remind ourselves, you need to be like Abigail. Who are you being the Abigail in this situation? Are you being the Eve in this situation? I
So
started that.
biblical
Yes.
characters.
Earlier on, we started with back when we were in school. We started with the ladies in the Bible. So every week we pick one lady and we talk about her, we study her, and then we try to live out that in our week. So I'll now ask you, how were you the Abigail in your class? How were you the Abigail in your relationship with your friends or with your cousins? So currently what we started with was the fruits of the spirit. So being kind, being friendly, being loving, we've started imbibing it in them. That aside, being a lady, the daddy is like, ladies always wear dresses.
Oh.
So he would usually shop dresses for them. I love my jeans. I love my trousers. I like 2 pair of clothes.
Yeah.
But
Daddy wants
he wants
girly stuff.
girly stuff. Now you people are ladies. You need to walk like a lady. You don't jump around in the chairs.
Daddy's rather saying that. Oh goodness.
So it's a two-way affair. We are in
Okay.
this together as partnership. Yeah. So he brings a topic, I flow with it. I bring a topic, he flows with it. So we are doing this together. So then you groom their hair, groom their nails. I tell them one of them is biting her nails occasionally, and so I would tell them if you just stop biting your nails, I won't paint your nails for you this vacation, because I usually love to have my nails done. And so every time I go on their vacation, I go with them. I'd paint their nails with them with a colorless one.
Okay.
Then aside that, they have their pocket tissues with them. When it comes to the values, we try to get them to understand their personality
Okay.
and value themselves. And so right from amongst themselves, one of them has offended the other. I'm upstairs and she just goes to sit somewhere, and I'm like, don't let anybody steal your joy.
Okay.
Nothing should steal your joy, not even mommy or daddy. So we have those moments, maybe when they are bathing in the morning or just before bed. We just have a 2 minutes, 3 minutes pep talk, and it has sunk. There's this research that says that kids' attention span is as long as their age. So you can imagine that.
That's news to me.
Exactly. So that's how come little ones' attention span, after a while, they're off. They'll be looking at your face, seem like they're listening to you, but it's not sinking. That's why you have to repeat ourselves over and over and over and over. So we try to, do the typical ladylike thing. We try to address the personality part, where you shouldn't let anything, get to you and determine how you would react the next moment. We try to get them to, approach their mindsets. I'm really big on mindset, psychology, all of those things. Yeah. So how you see things is not what it is like. Hey, mommy, these days we are always doing this. Last time we did this, we did that, had this situation. And it's you who decides whether that is like a trend or not.
You know what? Hold on to your train of thought. We are in the studio with Mrs. Amanda Nketsiah. She's the CEO and the MD of COCADOS Healthy Cuisine. We will be right back after this commercial break.
This program is proudly brought to you by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchen and COCADOS Healthy Cuisine.
Welcome back from the commercial break. You're still watching your favorite parenting show, the Two Words Mom Show. and I am here in the studio with Mrs. Amanda Nketsiah. Now, the reason why I asked you to hold on to your train of thought was because I was coming to delve into such a question.
Right.
I want to ask you how you encourage self-esteem. Before the show, we were having this
Yeah.
conversation. Girls, I mean women, whew, we go through all these stages all fully. I want to know how you are encouraging self-esteem, the
Yeah.
courage to break boundaries, do certain things. Yeah.
So, we always thrive on our past experiences or mistakes. Growing up, I had like bad inferiority complex because I was shelled. Today, I'm thankful for that shelling my grandpa gave me or my parents gave me. But some way, somehow, it kind of affects us. Thankfully, this generation, things are totally different. We are allowed to express ourselves. We are allowed to, express our confidence in different ways.
Yeah.
So, one of the things we do, starting from the values, Daddy has like really great pep talks with them all the time. He's really good with words. So me, I would thrive on experiences. So it's parent led, child led. And so once I see a sign or two, then I thrive on that. Occasionally, I'll intertwine with a pre-thought of, something to expect in the future. But I'll usually dwell on what is happening in the now, because then it's more relatable to them. So Daddy gives them like really great pep talks where he would, prompt you in advance. He's already telling them about financial stability. He's already prepping them. So all these things together bring up your confidence. They do extracurricular in school. So before even going into it, we would discuss with them what you'd want to do. We have your options. Maybe because we are also still finding our interests. I like to have like an all-round thing.
Okay.
So this year we do this, next year we do another one. But then we try to reason with them. Daddy does a lot of reasoning with them. We negotiate with them.
Okay.
So these are subconscious things that we are doing to build their confidence and giving them the opportunity to express themselves. One of them is very vocal and expressive. When she's talking, when you're talking, she would always want to finish your statement for you.
Okay. That was me as a child.
And Daddy will be like, when adults are talking, you don't interrupt them. But to me, I'm like, that's her way of, it's good to let her know when to pull the brakes.
Yeah.
So, but then I try to let him not do it too much. Otherwise, then she may, lose that. Exactly. Yeah. She may lose that confidence. So, this is one of the things, some of the approaches we go with. Exactly. And finding their interest at each time. Occasionally, I would bring up my own stuff. So recently, we bought these coloring books for the shop, for COCADOS. And I saved some for the girls. They hadn't showed interest yet.
Okay.
But I saved it for them. One of the days, I realized the older one had picked and she was always coloring. So in the moment, when I say I try to take advantage of the moment, in one of the days, she had done for like 3 days or 1 week. And then she comes and she's like, "Mommy, see my coloring, it's beautiful. Isn't it?" And I'm like, "It's really nice." And it's like every time your coloring is nice, your coloring is nice. But there and then, it was just me and her. So I took advantage and I spelled out lessons I have observed or lessons she can learn from the moment. So we now played. And she told me, "Mommy, see these 2 flowers, they were very, they're consistent. So I thought to, use the same colors for all of them. But when I tried these 2, the colors were too alike. So I gave all of them different colors. And they are very tiny flowers. So I told her, this is beautiful because I see you're paying attention to details.
Yeah.
I see you are developing your creativity. I see that you are being thoughtful about the things you are doing. You are in the moment." So I spelled out all the lessons I had observed from her. She has grasped it. It has sunk into her subconscious. Now she'll begin to develop those things. So all these things put together holistically would develop and build your self-esteem,
I can really relate to that. My first boy, he's very creative. He's very, very artistic. And the same thing happened with us. So all the time I was like, this is nice, this is nice. Then there was this day, hey, just a serious coloring, oh. And he remembered to color the hair
Yeah.
black, the skin brown, and things I would not even think about. So I was like, did you see this somewhere?
Yeah.
He's like, no. I had this by myself. And I was like, for you to even put in the effort,
Yeah.
whoa, way to go, you've done well. And since that time, like you're saying with your girl, it's like that with him. Every
Yeah.
time he comes, he now wants to explain why he used this color for that.
Exactly.
That's so beautiful. That's so
So
beautiful.
there and then they have, become conscious
of what they are
these
doing.
things or these traits, these skills in them, and then with time they would build upon it.
You know, most of girls, most of around teenage, most of our insecurities come with our body image.
Yeah.
How we look, how somebody is looking more beautiful than us. Are you ready for that conversation?
We've actually started having
body image issues.
We've actually started having such conversations. I remember, and I think it has to do with the ages. So my first girl was, I think, 5, 6, 7, around that time. She was always in the mirror, constantly in the mirror.
5 years?
5 years. She was constantly in the mirror. Then now my second daughter is doing the same thing, but hers is like extreme.
Actually, that one is serious.
Because now she's exposed to her older sister's own. She's exposed to mine. She's exposed to things she's seen on the screens around her with people around us and all of that. And so she's also constantly in the mirror. She wants to have makeup on. One time she comes and she said, "Mommy, my nose is not nice." And I'm like, "Told you that you have the most beautiful nose." And I had to start pep talking her. So also another time where I take advantage of the moment to, bring things up. And this is just a cue. I digress a little. It's a cue to, spend or value the little moments we have with the kids. We may be extremely busy, occupied all the time, but if we awaken our instincts in us to take advantage of opportunities like this, these are the only opportunities we may get to right or wrong certain things.
Okay.
Because now everybody is occupied. School goes from morning to night. You do extracurricular, you come back, you do homework, routine. There's no time to slot in certain things. So just take advantage of this tiny moment, 2-3 minutes to have these pep talks with them. So like Daddy talked about their dressing with them, giving them the lip balm and all of those things. Then the pep talk of self-awareness. Chani is tall, Anika is not tall. This is fat, this is slim.
Yeah.
We try to get them to not use some of these words, in as much as it is what it is.
Yes.
You must value yourself for who you are. So then we remind them, you see, you like drawing. She is good at gymnastics. So you must realize that whether this person is doing this or this person is doing that, it doesn't matter who is big, who is slim, who is tall, who is short, who is fat.
There is no competition.
There's no competition. You all have your inner gifts, which we all value. So it's about the personality. We try to remind them about the personality and not about the things, the physical things around us. Funny enough, my husband, I'm taller than my husband.
As I know, yeah.
So to them, they think I'm older than him. Because the tall one is always older.
Oh.
And so that is one of the typical examples we use to let them know that the fact that I am taller doesn't mean I'm older. And then we also prompted them that daddy is daddy, whether he's shorter or not.
Yes,
daddy is daddy.
daddy.
So they realize that it's not really about the physical look, but then it's about what is inside of you.
I would have had a different life if any of my parents or my family members had this kind of conversation with me as a child.
True.
I told you I write too. I have a blog and I share a story where when I was very young, they told me my butts were flat. And for the longest time.
Yeah.
For the longest
sticks.
time. It sticks. So all the time when I'm out with my friends, I'm looking at people's butts. Whose bum is bigger than mine? I'm just looking up, see. And I felt so diphtheria.
Yeah.
And I had to work on it,
Mhm.
personally work on it,
Yeah.
to be able to get it off my mind. And I'm so like proud of you and your husband for, bringing these forms of conversations
Mhm.
up. Still on that. What's about puberty? You're going to go through Wahala. How prepared are you? Menstruation,
Uh-huh.
the whole puberty stuff, how they can even relate with boys, where
Yeah.
the line should be drawn. How are you going to handle all that?
So there was a time when, I mean, obviously they've observed when you're dressing up, you have your panty liner, they see you with a pad.
You
What's
dress
the
up in
difference?
front of them.
It's not intentional. Sometimes they just barge in
Okay.
and then they see things here and there.
Okay.
We go to the market together. We
So you
buy stuff.
they
They see it.
ask.
What is this? Yes.
Yeah.
So recently, this is a bit personal, but I'll share it. My oldest girl started having like a discharge in her panty, and I'll tell her, you didn't wash well, because when they bath themselves, so even the little one wants to bath herself. And so I'm like, you didn't wash well. So one time, I think continuously, I bathed for her myself on 2 or 3 occasions, and we still saw that. So there was a time we went for a program in their school, and we came back home so late. I had to bath for them myself in their sleep. So we trying to, undress them and get them into the shower. I noticed that there was like, actually, it was actually a discharge. It wasn't just dead. So we started to use panty liners. So some of the things, if you are not close, if you are not present, you may be close, but you're not present, you won't notice it. You won't know how to address it. So they see you with panty liner, they ask questions. I already gave them the pep talk of menstruation, but I didn't know about this whole discharge thing. So I read on it, and it says that it's the body preparing for menstruation to take place.
So as you're talking, it just occurred to me, and my grandma thought the same thing.
Yes.
She even thought I was making love with a boy.
So I thank God for Google, thank God for internet.
Yeah.
I read around it. I googled vaginal discharge for at age 9-year-old, and then I saw the messages, the research results, and all of that. So I picked up on that. She started wearing panty liner. The younger ones also feel like I should also have it, as usual. I should also have it, but then occasionally they realized that they don't have use for it, so they stopped. They stopped wearing it, but now they are aware, so it's easier for them to just adapt once they get to that stage.
Okay.
But they've had pep talks on menstruation, on relationship issues. At their ages, they know everything. In school, they also have boy-girl sessions for them. So they have girls talk, they have boys talk for the upper primary girls. And I told them to start from maybe grade 3, because once the older ones are there, the younger ones. So they should start from grade 3, so that once you're in grade 4, like, well, age appropriate anyway. It should be age appropriate, because my younger girl comes and she sees it and she's like, Mommy, what is this? Mommy, can I have your diaper? They call it diaper. Mommy, I want your diaper. Give it to me. Anyway.
I'm going to let you, all too soon. It's almost time, to bring the interview to an end. But I want to ask you this before your final words. What are your thoughts on exposing your girls to social media? Not even you putting them on social media.
Mm-hmm.
They seeing stuff on social media.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I'm
very particular about what they listen to, what they watch. And so just yesterday, Daddy was having a conversation with them that even when they are watching the wrong scenes, when they've been told not to watch it, I'm able to hear a thing or two, and like, you're not supposed to watch that, or this thing you're watching is not good, so change it. And thankfully, they try to adhere to it. Occasionally, they will all get engrossed in it, and they want to remind, Mommy said we shouldn't watch it too. And then they stay away from it. So generally, I think having this family meeting thing has really helped us, because now we have to read around or find opportunities to imbibe some of these conversations, because we are in a time where things are like going haywire. You may do yours at home, but outside is a different story. Yes. So replicating the reminders all around them we involve their friends. So we mention their friends' names. So if this person does this, it's just an example. But instead of giving a vague example, we use their exactly. So we mention their friends' names. So if this person does this, it's okay, but this is how you should approach it. So they know this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend.
Okay.
They have such conversations.
Okay, so Mrs. Nketsiah, your final words to a mom or a dad of girls,
Yeah.
or even if they have mixed kids, once there is a girl,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your word of encouragement to them? Please look in the camera and address.
So I think I would say that you follow your instinct, number one. Read around a lot because the information is out there. We don't know it. If you don't go for the information, you won't know. If you know, you know. But this one is not if you know, you know as well. You need to go all out there, research on age appropriate scenarios. You need to talk about your kid, talk to your kids about, and spend time with them. Just spend time with them. In spending time with them, you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, you know where they're having challenges. Some of us didn't get it that way. So we are very intentional about, incorporating it in our kids all the time. And this whole boyfriend girlfriend relationship is a natural phenomenon. It will happen. How many cases didn't we receive for being friends with boys? How many blocked numbers, prevention from having phone calls and all of that? But if you instill the values into them, whether you are there or not, they would practice it. And then we add prayer to it. We can never do it without the prayers. So as you are there, you are declaring prophecies unto them. You are declaring positive words upon their lives, and like they are doing it in the now. When you are praying, you pray that in the now. My child is, not my child will be. My child is a friendly person. My child is a courteous person. The now, the now.
So my takeaway has been instilling the values
Yeah.
and prayers. Let me know what your thoughts or your lessons have been in the comment section. Now, this show is proudly brought to you by COCADOS and Appearance Trendy Wardrobe. Contact COCADOS for all your salads, detox packages, smoothies, Greek yogurt, parfum, granola, wraps, sandwiches, juices, and bougie Brooks. Call or text them on 0541 022 896. Also contact Appearance Trendy Wardrobe for all your kitchenware and all your clothes. Call or WhatsApp them on 0208 759 436. We will be right back with the playground.
This program is proudly brought to you by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchen and COCADOS Healthy Cuisine.
Welcome back from the break. You are still watching Two Words Moms, your favorite parenting show. This is the playground. And you may be asking, why? What are these girls doing here? Well, we are about to play, how do we call this game? Stack the cups. We are going to stack these cups into each other using a balloon. I don't know how we are going to do that, but you'll see for yourself. Now, Miss Amanda,
Yes,
do you know
ma'am.
I like money?
You
You think you like money?
all
Oh?
over your face.
No, you think you like money, but me, I like money more than you.
Really?
If I'm able to stack all these, how many are they? 5.
Okay.
You also have 5, right? If I'm
Mhm.
able to stack them
Mm-hmm.
before you give me 100 cedis. Hey, let's make it 1,000. But if you finish before me,
Mm-hmm.
I'll find some 2 CDs for you.
Sister, you fine. Don't worry, I'll take it like that.
Okay, so we are going to start. I don't know. Well, producer, will you give us the go ahead, and then so we're going to blow, and use it
Okay.
to stack into another. Please, if you give us the go ahead, sorry, then we start. Okay. We're about to. Okay. Oh my goodness. Did I win? You did. I won. At a point, I thought one of the cups on the table was mine. So I was like, no, let me count up. My cash, please.
Start
Oopsie.
with this. This is gold.
Uh-huh.
This is gold.
Uh-huh.
So start with this.
No, please. It's cash I need. Thank you for watching this segment. We will be right back.
This program is proudly brought to you by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchen and COCADOS Healthy Cuisine.
Welcome back from the short break. Unfortunately for me, we both broke the rules of the game. We were not supposed to touch the balloons, and we did. So today is a sad day. I'm not going to get any money from Miss Amanda, but we'll make it another day. Miss Amanda.
Yes, darling.
Thank you so much for gracing the studios today. Thank you. It's such an honor to me that you made time to be on this show. And as appreciation, funny enough, she's the one who sponsors our guest. Today, she's a guest. So are we going to give her COCADOS? No, she lives in COCADOS. So we'll not give her COCADOS. Last week, I saw you posting on your WhatsApp status that you've started your early morning walks.
Oh!
So I said, what do people need for early morning walks? Water. So that they can keep themselves hydrated. So I got you this bottle. It's a water bottle.
Oh.
And I got you a small piece of chocolate because I know you're very, very conscious
Thank you so much.
of the things you take in. Thank you so much. We're really, really grateful for your support for the show and for you even coming here
Thank you.
personally today.
Thank you.
This show, as you already know, viewers, is brought to you by COCADOS Healthy Cuisine. You can call or text them on 0541 0222896 for all your healthy cuisine. They are right here in Takrady. We are also sponsored by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchenware. They have microwaves, kitchen stands, non-stick saucepans, anything you can think of that you need for your kitchen. They also have corporate dresses, kids dresses, casual dresses, outing dresses, and church dresses. Call or WhatsApp them on 0208 759 436. They do nationwide delivery. Thank you for making time with me today. Join me here next week for another exciting episode. God be with you till I see you. It's bye-bye.
This program is proudly brought to you by Appearance Trendy Wardrobe and Kitchen and COCADOS Healthy Cuisine.